Hey over there, Joe Lunchbox.
I'm Joy Nightingale.
And today we landed right here in York, Pennsylvania. Sitting before us is the Tin Man. Now, the Tin Man, we figured, is a good spot to start this video. Because we get to show you the statue. But, you know how a Tin Man becomes another pop culture reference? The Man of Steel?
How?
By lifting some iron. And that's the point of today's video. We are going to go to the Weightlifting Hall of Fame, also here in York, Pennsylvania, and have a good old time. But figured, why not start it at a Tin Man, a cool statue. So if you are into this kind of thing, we're always traveling the roads, going to fun roadside attractions, unusual museums like the Weightlifting Hall of Fame. You should like this video. If you haven't done already, subscribe to our channel. Comment down below. Do you skip leg day? But it's time to do this. Step right up, let's go for this ride. Because we are in the heart of Pennsylvania, you figure steel company, metal being made here. We have the Tin Man made by Loran Jacobs as the Thinker, Rodin's Thinker, but instead it's called the Tinker. Great statue. He's not sitting on a bench. You see he's standing on some of these big wheels, one regular, another toothed.
The gear? Gear.
Yeah, they are big gears. Thank you. That is the word I was looking for, and my mind drew a blank, Joy. All right, Tinker, so you're saying I continue down this road and just go north and it gets me to the Weightlifting Hall of Fame? All right, thanks for the directions. Onward, Joy! And when I say we continue on this road, I don't mean we just walk. We have to get into the car and drive about 10 minutes, I would say. Still in York, but definitely more north out of this downtown area. So the Weightlifting Museum and Hall of Fame is actually at York Barbell retail outlet store. We're standing out front because we had to take a look of the statue of the man lifting the barbell. Now this statue was made in the 60s by an artist named Rodman Shutt. Now, if that name sounds familiar, if you've been watching this channel for a while, on Long Island, we showed you a Native American statue named Big Chief Lewis, and also at a closed attraction called Roadside America here in Pennsylvania, there was an Amish couple. Both of those statues were also made by the same artist. He was an artist that made these big, larger-than-life statues in Strasburg, Pennsylvania. It is a cool focal point. You're driving right down Route 83, and you see a big man weightlifting. All right, it's cold. We're gonna get in. We're gonna take a look at the Weightlifting Museum Hall of Fame. Free admission, even better. Things started as the Olympics, and then that led to powerlifting. Figure like the world's strongest men, which is 3 lifts. You're doing the deadlift, the bench press, the squats. We're gonna talk about all of it, see it all here. Some photos of strong men. I come at the weightlifting world from the world of sideshow. I am an unusual strongman, lifting things up in my ears. I can tear phone books in half, but the problem is, it's harder and harder to find phone books nowadays. And the reason this museum is here in York, Pennsylvania is a man called Bob Hoffman. He was a pioneer in the use of weights in physical conditioning and strength training. In fact, his life story and athletic accomplishments are detailed throughout this museum. And the fact was that his original gym and manufacturing was on Broad Street, predating the York Barbell clubs, where the York Oil Burner Athletic Club's squads comprised primarily of workers employed in Bob's oil burner business. Bob's acolytes he's designated as actually the father of the world weightlifting by the International Weightlifting Federation. Bob was well known for his generous funding of world weightlifting teams during the period of the mid-1930s through the late 70s. We have a photo series of Ralph Milser winning the clean and jerk world championships 1978 in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And if we look at this last pose, it's almost like the statue of the guy outside. Right when we're into the museum, we have powerlifting or bodybuilding. I figure one is about just picking up the heavy weights, the other is about toning, almost like sculpting your own body to be the perfect form. We have a wall of bodybuilders through the ages. Now, I grew up, my dad was really into lifting. He actually had some trophies when I was a kid in our house. And everyone loves Arnold Schwarzenegger. You watch Pumping Iron, you think of Arnold. But me, I'm from Valley Stream, right on the Queens border of Nassau. When you think of the Queens area, Brooklyn area, just the Long Island parts of the city, you think of Lou Ferrigno. He was our guy. I grew up watching Incredible Hulk. Lou Ferrigno was my favorite bodybuilder as a kid. Also have some images like Steve Reeves as Hercules, and another, Reg Park, also played Hercules. There they two are. Arnold as Conan the Destroyer and Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk. We're looking at a wall of the reigning physique champions, starting from Mr. America in 1980 and beyond, starting in 1981 here, going all the way to 1995. And on the other side of the center display, which has some fitness magazines, we have Miss America going 1980, the beginning. And you start 1980 to 1995. Now we're not talking about the show pageant Miss Americas. We're talking about the bodybuilding Miss Americas. Like we said, this is Museum and a Hall of Fame. And here we actually have part of the Hall of Fame. This is the Bodybuilding Hall of Fame. Looks like starting from the class in 1985 with people like Arnold and Lou Ferrigno. We even have Bob Hoffman. We were talking about him, the man who was sort of looked as the father of modern powerlifting. Charles Atlas. Also on the wall, Jack LaLanne. One of my dad's favorite bodybuilders, Franco Columbu. I think my dad liked him because Franco was shorter in stature, like my father, but still giant. Look at the build on John Grimmick. It's like he's carved out of marble. Okay, he is carved out of marble. In this display case, we have some trophies. We actually have a Mr. America trophy donated by Bob Hoffman. Some items like Indian clubs and also iron bars. Those horseshoes were bent and twisted by the mighty Adam at York Fairgrounds in 1962. Eugene Sandow got so big, so strong, he bulked up his biceps so much that they almost cracked his arms off. Ooh, full display on Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this is why my dad always liked Franco. There's Franco with Arnold. I think that's what made Arnold stand out. Definitely is what made Arnold stand out and become a star. One, his stature was massive, but he was also a character. Like, look at this photo of him on a bike. I think that's what took him from just being a bodybuilder to a superstar. In the powerlifting section, we have outstanding world championships for powerlifters. And here's what I mean. You could tell the difference. The body type of powerlifters definitely doesn't look like the body type of bodybuilders. I mean, yeah, they're all fit. Yeah, they're all strong. But some of them are some big boys. We have a wall with the female outstanding world champions for powerlifting. Powerlifting is a competition devised to demonstrate brute strength, while the Olympic lifter depends mainly on speed, timing, and greater muscle coordination. The powerlifter relies chiefly on strength because of keen interest in this aspect of muscle building and displays of strength. The AAU accepted powerlifting as part of its program in 1965. York Barbell was instrumental in organizing the first meets throughout the museum. Lots of photos telling us all the information, some milestone accomplishments of like the first 900-pound deadlift. First woman to bench press 400 pounds. Now that's what's cool about this. This is still York Barbell. It is a store, but they have this museum as a free museum inside their store. So if you're interested in the subject matter, you can learn. A chart teaching us some form. The top one is the two-hand snatch. See, lifting in the squat position, arms stretched out, up, and here it is. You see he's flipping his arms up, dropping down, catching it over his head, and re-standing, which is different than the clean and jerk, which is, you see he stands straight up first, then he drops to his knees, the grip is closer, getting it right up against the chest, and once he stands back, lifting it straight up. We have a wall on the Olympic Games, their international weightlifting, starting in Paris 1924 to Amsterdam, talking all about the different teams. No Olympics, we have a World War II. So on this, the colored walls are the Olympics, and the walls on the sides are the World Championships that led up to those Olympic Games. So those would be the World Championships in between the Olympics. You see, in 1947, the Americans won the gold in every body weight class, won the team championship, and set world records as well.
That was done in Philly.
The United States went all the way to the final weight class in 1968 before winning a lifting medal at the Olympics in Mexico City. I could pick it up, but it says not to because you don't want to drop it down to the floor. It's the only reason I'm leaving it here. Next section of the museum is the story of weightlifting. It's interesting. It's trying to teach you get fit, strength train, be physically active, but don't lift anything. Whatever you do, don't lift anything. I know it's amusing. And we're going old here. We're going to Milo Steinborn. Virtually introduced the squat as a weight training exercise to American weightlifters in the early 1920s. With that, we have some early versions like a kettlebell to a Roland barbell. Barbells were a lot different back then than they are today. Another plaque on Bob Hoffman, dedicated keeping Americans strong and healthy. Bob Hoffman, Olympic weightlifting coach, is a world famous authority on nutrition and physical fitness. We have another carved head, this time of the French angel. Oh no, this time of G. Yakos of Detroit. Looking at that, look at the ears, the big nose, you're like, that can't be what he really looked like. But here we have a photo of Maurice Tillet, the French angel, with G. Yakos, Detroit. We have another display case with more trophies, awards. Like you see, the first one is from National Nutrition Foods Association to Bob Hoffman in recognition of international physical fitness. Another one, the Alvin Roy Memorial Award, presented to Bob Hoffman.
More plaques.
Lots more plaques. Even a plaque from Ronald Reagan. Dear friends, I am very proud to extend my congratulations to the opening of the Bob Hoffman Hall of Fame. This special project bringing recognition of outstanding athletes from all over the world is one of the stresses good health and the spirit of competition. It reminds us that of our sports figures do not reach their level of skills and endurance without hard work. Oh, we have Ronald Reagan, the Presidential Fitness Awards. Remember that, Joy? Could you run your mile fast enough? Could you do enough crunches, pull-ups?
Oh, like the dashes and stuff like that?
Yeah, personal fitness test.
Wow. I wonder if they still actually do some of that stuff.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I've been in high school in many years.
Wasn't it also, it was like elementary, middle school?
Yeah, President's Fitness Test.
I do not miss them.
Here we have some more.
Russian tour.
A Russian tour.
European.
I like this next one.
The World Championship.
Look at this World Championship.
It's second place. Imagine what
Ooh.
first place might have been.
A giant horn for second place. While you're weightlifting, I remember like getting like Boy Scout magazines and stuff, and you'd be like, always have the photo of the little kid getting bullied, And it'd be like, you don't have to be like him. You sign up and you get your weightlifting kits and you learn how to become big and strong. And this one, the strongmen are coming into my world. It's sort of that like the circus strongman feel, wearing that leopard robe. I'm talking about that. Mighty men of the old, the roots of modern weightlifting. While in a less organized form, the sport of weightlifting dates back to antiquities. It can trace its origins in a more standard form of the athlete to the middle of the 19th century. Both in Europe and North America, professional strongmen gave dramatic performances on stage using barbells and dumbbells to demonstrate great strength to the public. And it is interesting seeing some of the acts that they would do that sort of we do now in sideshow. You see the chain going around, snapping it using his strength, or hammering a nail straight through a board. I mean, me and Joy just did this the other day, laying on a bed of nails. I have to learn. I never was able to break it's a 20 penny iron nail. He bit through the iron nail and he bent the horseshoes. This is the Mighty Atom. And the Mighty Atom is Joseph Greenstein. But now that's crazy, right, Joy? He bit a nail in half, folks, and he bent horseshoes in half. But if you read on, he did that at the age of 82.
That's crazy.
82. Some other strongman feats. Look at this. Bending nails, tearing not just one deck of playing cards in half, but a double, or is that 3 decks of playing cards in half? Bill ripped this textbook in half during a motivational speech in New Jersey. The hardcover was pulled from the book in front of the audience and then pressed around for inspection. Bill ripped this book into 2 in less than 3 seconds. Look at that. Also ripping license plates in half. That's the kind of strongman I'm interested in. Believe it or not, bending the steel with the forehead. Talking about the golden age. Professional strongmen. Here we have a belt from 1907. This was recognizing that Warren Lincoln Travis was the strongest man in the world. Call him the father of modern weightlifting. That's why it says, "Who's your daddy?" There is Bob Hoffman himself. A big, strong animal is always the bear. In fact, Bob Hoffman collected replicas of bears, all kinds, sizes, shapes, and breeds. His collection actually had 600 bear sculptures. In some communities, people say, "I look like a bear." There's a statue we're looking at outside with the sculpture of Bob Hoffman. Its early roots of York Oil Burner Company. It says, few people beyond York County, Pennsylvania would have heard of Bob Hoffman if he had stayed in the oil burner business rather than founding the York Oil Burner Athletic Club, which became in the early 1930s the famous York Barbell Club. The success of these weightlifting clubs led Hoffman to expand his interest in the sport to include the sale of physical fitness equipment. The York Barbell Company was the result. Great sketches of some iconic strongman feats. Milo carrying the 4-year-old heifer at the Olympics. Maximus, Roman giant, moving wagon that a team of oxen had failed to bulge. Oh, you like that one, Joy? Louis Cyr holding back 4 draft horses. London, 1892. Arthur Saxon bench pressing 370 pounds. And that's the bar we were looking at. What about John Grimmick lifting 10 pounds on a standard Weaver stick? I never seen that before. Geo Hackenschmidt pressing 311 pounds in a wrestler's bridge. Did you ever know Eugene Sandow could carry a pony in one arm? Some cool stuff. Hanging from the ceiling, a mobile made out of weights. We have a photo of the gym in the original York Barbell location on Broad Street. Employees of the York Barbell also happen to be among America's greatest weightlifters. Yeah, you'd work there and you train.
And that's the actual bench that...
The gentleman sitting over here, you see him sitting on the bench. There is said bench from the photo. I was going to show you the strength, but again it says, sadly it says, please do not lift the weights. On the wall we have a photo of Jim Tompkins, age 31 in 1964. But before he started working with York Barbells, we see him at age 14 and then age 25 after York Barbells. Now what they like about him is it's his historic collection of bodybuilding magazines. You see, starting with Strength and Health in April on 55, all different magazines. The Strength and Health going up into the 70s. Mr. America, Muscular Development, Iron Man magazines, Muscle Builders, and actually some of his weights. In other cases, for the memory of Dick Smith, he was one of the ambassadors for York Barbell. They said he was born April 12th, 1925 and passed away August 27th, 2014. We have a collection, a lot of his memorabilia from U.S. Olympic teams, contributors. And like I said, it is a full store, so you can get all your weights, some plates, some kettlebells, some bars. There you go, the Weightlifting Museum and Hall of Fame here at York Barbell. Whenever Joy and I travel, it's always interesting going to museums because you never know what you discover. I feel you always relate to something in the museum. For me, like I said, coming from the sideshow, the strongman is always a feat. I learned how to tear phone books in half probably about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And seeing like strongmen bending, rolling up horseshoes and doing that stuff along with the weightlifting, bending coins, and seeing stuff like that, tearing license plate. There's stuff even in a museum of powerlifters, which I'm clearly not a powerlifter.
I guess that's considered powerlifting.
I can relate to. No, it's all strongmen feet. So I was glad we came. I would recommend it. It is a free museum, which is nice, in the middle of Pennsylvania in York, so if you're driving by, it's worth a look.
They did have some cute merch also.
Nice tank top I was looking at. They didn't have my size. It happens. We'll be back another day. Maybe we get it then. But I think we'll call it for today.
I think so.
York Barbell Company's Weightlifting Museum and Hall of Fame. Been there and done that. Remember, folks, safe travels.
Goodies.
And live life. And just so you know, I'm a real friend. I don't let Tobias skip leg day. Don't skip leg day, Tobias.